Alright, what's up Dominators? Welcome back to the V-EB11 channel, and today we finally, after 8 million years of you guys asking, commenting, and basically, God, you guys are horrible people, really horrible people. We have the Pacifica deck list right here, right now, and we're gonna go through it. So following the new format, as usual, we got the full layout of the deck, then we're going through each and every card. Why do we run it? What's the skills? And later a little bit of combos here and there. So please, for the love of God, do not bug me anymore with where's the Pacifica deck list, because this is the Pacifica deck list. And after all, we're just gonna get this over with. Okay, let's jump right into it. And first card, we have top either Pacifica, obviously this card right here. So the VR of the set, V-EB11 Crystal Melody. Basically, the skill X Vanguard Circle, so +1. Activate all the effects below according to the number of regards with Pacifica in the card names. If you have one or more, this unit gains power +10k and drive +1, so it's a 323k attacker. If you have 2 or more, you gain 2 imaginary gift force, so an extra 2 gifts for you. And if you have 3 or more, until the end of the tournament, your opponent will call from his or her hand to Garden Circle, he or she must call 3 or more cards at the same time. So basically the Hard Leg skill, released in V-EB11 or BT06, either one. Yeah, a lot of cards have this skill as of the moment, so yeah, that's how you got with the new cards. So yeah, moving on, we got Refined Posture Ursula. So both of them have the Gate 3 force markers, obviously you can see here, but take note that obviously your main ride will still be Pacifica. You wouldn't want to ever ride into her. Skill Vanguard Rearguard. Reasons why you play her is because card +1, you search up to 1 top either Pacifica from your deck, and drop zone, reveal it, put it into your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So what does it mean? You're able to take back Pacificas both from your drop zone and your deck, put them to your hand so they can call them down and use the skills. A lot of these cards in the deck are centered around getting Pacificas back from your drop zone, damage zone, and from your deck, because the main point of this deck is to have Pacificas on your field so that you can activate the effects at the same time. So yeah, moving on, we got this. We got Carol, Colorful Pastel from CP Carol. Reasons why you run it is because if you're really unable to tutor out your Pacificas from your deck and you're on the Pacifica Vanguard, you may use the skill. So first skill is Melody, we don't really care about that. Second skill, when placed from hand, so +2, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as your Grade 3 Vanguard. If you really put it to your hand, shuffle your deck. And this ability is only can use once per turn, so it's basically the main skill, yeah, and least select skill also. So what does this mean? It means that you're able to tutor out your Pacificas from your deck at the cost of +2. So take note, yes, it does cost a lot of soul, and you've seen Pacifica skill, it takes soul as well. So that's one of the reasons why you run Liselite, and we'll get to later why you actually run Liselite and what's so good about running Liselite. So basically the Caro is just a filler for you to tutor out your Vanguard, your Pacificas actually, not Vanguard but Pacificas from your deck, so that you're able to use the skill. Alright, moving on, we got this Grade 2 right here, Crowning Partner Avani. Vanguard Circle, when placed, you put up to 1 top either Pacifica each from the drop zone and damage zone into your hand. So if you put a card from damage zone, put the top card of your deck into the damage zone, faced up. So take note, is it must be faced up, and the ability can only be used once. Basically the same skill as Caro and Liselite. You can spam this card skill all of a sudden, so you're able to put both from the damage zone and the drop zone, but obviously if you put the damage zone, you gotta take the extra damage from the top card onto your deck. Okay, so this helps to tutor your Pacificas, especially if they fly to the damage zone, which really sucks most of the time or some of the times. So this card really helps you get your Pacifica back from the damage zone onto the field. Moving on, we got Liselite. So reasons why we run Liselite, other than it being, you know, OP. The first skill obviously is it can be called as a Grade 1, and if you call it, second skill activates Vanguard Rearguard when placed to the top card of the deck, call it to Rearguard Circle or shove it into your soul. This ability can be only used once. Basically these 3 cards have all the same skills of being able to be used once per turn only. Reasons why we run this is the free soul. So take note that when you look at the top card of the deck, you're either able to call it to Rearguard Circle or you shove into your soul. So take note that it's really good. It's the only way you're gonna get soul in this deck, yes, other than, you know, riding, but you wouldn't run the right Pacifica over Pacifica. Doesn't really make sense. So yeah, other than that, it's a free good tutor. And I just realized that we missed out on this card because I wasn't really noticing about it. We got Mastery Cover Mini. So reasons why we want 2 copies of it is because it's your draw engine in the deck, kinda. So when placed, you count +1, draw 2 cards, return a card from your hand to the deck, and shuffle your deck. If you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as the Vanguard, on rearguard circle, you return 3 cards instead of 1. So most of the time you will have the same name as your rearguard if you're on Pacifica Vanguard, because you will have Pacificas on your rearguard circles for it to activate the skill for you to gain the effects. So having Mini on field, it provides the draw engine, and you are able to send back a trigger, whatever card you have in your hand, most likely a trigger back to the deck you shuffle, so there are chance of you drive checking a trigger when you do the triple drive check from Pacifica skill is higher. And obviously you get the free draw on because you on place count +1, draw 2, return 1, so still considered net, I would say, because you call her, but it helps you filter the deck and helps you draw into your pieces when you need them to. So yeah, moving on, we have the new grade 1, Topping Mascot Serial. Basically Pacifica support as well. So Vanguard rearguard when placed, you count +1, look at top 7 cards of the deck, review 1 Pacifica and a refined Person Ursula. So you review either one. You can review both actually, up to 1, yeah, up to 1, and each from among them. So you can, if you're top 7, if you're lucky enough, you get both of them. You put into your hand and shuffle your deck. And if you and your opponent's Vanguard are grade 1, you may Soul Blast 1 for this cost instead of Count Blasting 1. So it's an incentive to go second. Obviously, when your opponent rides to grade 1, you ride into this card. Instead of playing the Count Blast 1, you play the Soul Blast 1 instead to, you know, look at top 7, fine for these 2 cards and to your hand. But ideally, you wouldn't want to do that because you see that you really have no soul charging engine other than Dissolute, so you ideally want to play the Count Blast, and because this deck doesn't really use much Count Blast, it mostly use Soul Blast, you just Count Blast 1, top 7 for both of them, add them to your hand. So yeah, moving on, we have the draw deck card, Special Message Aura. Vanguard when placed, draw a card, discard a card from your hand, and basically all these 4 cards have the same bloody skill, which you can do it once per turn. Reasons why it's the best first ride, you're able to scry top 2 of your deck, and if you do scry the top 2 of your deck and you have this card in your hand, you're able to discard Pacifica in the drop zone, and then on your grade 2 turn, you ride into her. Her skill activates where you're able to take Pacifica back from either from damage zone or from drop zone, or is it both of them, either one. You're able to take Pacifica back from drop zone for free, so it's basically a free plus for you in a sense. So 4 copies is a must, and it's the best first ride, I would say. Last but not least, we have Silent Ardor Solda. Basically, this card skill is allowing all of your Pacifica cards, your grade 3 cards, to boost in the back row, because you ideally want to put them in the back row. You don't want your opponent to attack them or, you know, retire them by whatever effect. The con skill of these cards is all your Vanguards with the same name as your Vanguard gets boost and cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effect, so they basically gain somewhat of a resist and you're able to boost at the back row. So ideally you will put all 3 Pacificas back in the back row, and with this grade 1 on the field, you are able to boost with it and gain that high amount of attack and, you know, push your opponent to death. Trigger wise, I would say that it's really up to you, but 4 crits, not 4 crits, 4 draws, 8 crits and 4 heals are the standard choice. You wouldn't want to play more than 4 draws, I think, because this deck really needs the crits. It's quite devastating to see you open a crit and your opponent will have to guard with 3 cards based on Pacifica skills. It's really scary and will deplete their hand size a lot. I wouldn't recommend, I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend, but I would say that running 12 crits in the deck is also an option. I wouldn't say that, but you have to run grade 1 draw PG, so you have to either take out, you'll probably have to take out Aura, but I think Aura is a really good filter for your deck. It helps you tutor out your Pacificas and the cards that you need really in the early game, and both in the late game as well. So the standardized build, I would say, would be 4 draws, 8 crits and 4 heals, which we are running in this deck. It makes the deck much more consistent rather than running 12 crits. 12 crits, yes, you do get the higher chance of you finishing your opponent off and, you know, checking a lot of crits in the process, but I think for consistency wise, 4 draws is still a must have because it's a PG negate. You have to draw, you have to have it sometimes against opponents that have high critical power that are able to give to your vanguard or their rearguard. So yeah, for starter wise, you can run whatever starter. It doesn't really have to be a Pacifica centered starter. You can run the Coral starter to confuse your opponents. You can run V-EB11 starter to confuse your opponents. It doesn't really matter. It's really up to you. But ideally, yes, that's basically about the deck. Most of the time on the grade 3 ride, when you ride up to Pacifica, you would ideally want to immediately pull off the combo. You either have two or at least have two Pacifica's rearguards on board to activate the second skill, which is to gain the 2 imagery gift. For gift wise, I recommend Force 1. Do not go Force 2 unless you're confident you're able to hit magic numbers like this card right here. It enables your grade 3 Pacificas to boost in the back row, which is fine. It's a free 13k booster, but going Force 2 is quite dangerous because if your opponent does survive it, and when he or she rides up to grade 3 and starts, you know, doing all the grade 3 bullshit, building up the hands and all that, it's really hard to end off with a really small powered rearguard because you're Force 2 instead of Force 1. And take note that if your opponent actually survives and you survive your opponent's turn, in the next turn, when you Soul Blast 1 and you gain 2 extra 2 imaginary gift force markers, you're unable to put them anywhere as the Force 2 doesn't really stack, while Force 1 actually does stack, so take note about that. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Oh my god, I finally got this over with. Holy shit, thank you very much, Wilson, for lending me this deck. This is actually not mine, but I have modded it to my specific deck building, which I think that it's better and more consistent in a way. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. I'll be posting V-EB12 from now on. Highlander is on the way. Please do not spam me. Where's my Highlander deck list now? I'm really sick of the Pacifica deck list already. You guys are spamming me. But yes, I'll be posting EB12 deck fights and deck recipe soon. So Claret, Revon, and what's the last one? Vanquisher, very soon. And keep a lookout for that. But for now, happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the rat. If you guys live in Singapore or you live in the States, you really don't celebrate Chinese New Year. I'm not too sure. But in Singapore, we do. And I'm born from a Chinese bred family. So yeah, happy Chinese New Year to all of you out there. And yeah, this is V-Shai. I'm out. Peace.